Denver slashes $5 million from its parks recreational budget as it prepares to spend $180 million to shelter migrants in 2024. People are asking Denver, why are you doing this? Why are you, a city of 700,000 people, decided to do the migrant crisis? You didn't have to be a sanctuary city. I mean, wow, your city is only 700,000 people. It's not even that big. I mean, the population of Denver isn't even 1 million. And they took in 40 to 50,000 people, almost as much as Chicago, which has tripled the population of Denver. And Chicago is already collapsing in 4K. So if you look at this, Mayor Mike Johnston of Denver says the cuts will not be the last. That's the scary part. I mean, cool, maybe you'll cut some money from all sorts of departments and then use that to spend sheltering migrants. But what he pretty much saying is they will be taking in more people, more shelters will be built, and basically could turn Denver, this city that has always done pretty well in the past few years, even during the pandemic. It was actually a pandemic boomtown. Pretty much turn this into just a migrant shelter hub. This is one of the dumbest things Denver could do. Guys, the city isn't even that big. 700K population, you're taking in like 50,000 people. Like, why? Why would you do that? If you just took in 1,000 or 2,000 people, I think most people in Denver will be pretty happy about that. Same thing with me. If they just take in a small group of people, 1,000 to 2,000, help them out, get them settled into Denver. I mean, I think 90% of people will be cool with it. Okay, I have no complaints. But it's getting so bad. Denver is becoming so crowded that if you look at Lakewood, this more suburban city next to Denver, apparently Denver is like, hey, Lakewood, how about you become a sanctuary city as well and you take some of the stress off our hands? Lakewood residents actually came out to protest about this. Guys, Lakewood is not that big of a city. If you add in like 15,000 migrants, I think the whole entire city will basically collapse. Especially Denver's hospital system is collapsing right now. So if you check out this, we got Denver cutting back on hours and DMVs. So good luck trying to get your driver's license. Recreational centers, and they even stopped planting flowers in the city in the summer to save a few $1,000,000. Guys, this city is basically cutting corners, okay? This is definition of decreasing the quality of life for your own citizens to do something that you didn't really have to do, which is becoming a sanctuary city. Nobody really knows why the mayor decided to do this, but here's one of the videos where people got kind of mad about it because Mike Johnston broke into tears for migrants, but not for Denver residents as he cut services. Not to mention the taxpayers in Denver are pretty furious. Guys, Denver taxes are pretty crazy high. It's not exactly like the cheapest state to live in, especially cost of living in Denver is very, very high. So when you're paying all these different taxes, you kind of want a high quality of life, like high amenities in the city, a pretty city, you know, maybe a good DMV, for example, good recreational center. These are all essential, especially if you're living in the city. But now with Denver doing this, we'll kiss every real estate business out there goodbye. Okay, Denver real estate prices are already dropping, and because of the migrant crisis, it's dropping even more. And the city doesn't even know what to do because at this point, Denver is now evicting migrants from shelters because so many people are going in. So the original people in the shelters get evicted, and then new people come in, and then these people get evicted because so many more people come in. And what's even worse is they're not making any more shelters. In fact, Denver's going broke. They don't have enough money. They're spending a lot of this cash on just travel, health, and also just food. They don't even have the amount of time to make permanent large shelters for these migrants. And guess what's happening? Many of these migrants just living on the streets. This is what Denver looks like. This is what happens when you evict migrants. They're on the streets. And this is a disgrace for the citizens of Denver who get basically all their recreational stuff cut and all of just major small cuts here and there. The city basically is cutting corners. And also, feel kind of bad for the migrants as well. I mean, you go thousands of miles to Denver expecting maybe warm meals and a place to stay, but no. You get to stay in these, I don't know, man, these kind of mediocre shelters for just maybe a few weeks, and then you get kicked out on the streets. And Denver's not even that big of a city, so there's not really jobs for everyone, so it's very hard to be settled in. Denver is collapsing, guys. They are no longer the city it used to be. I don't know why Denver did this, especially with how small the city is. This isn't a big town, guys. Denver is actually pretty small, all things considered. When you have 700,000 people versus New York, who has 7 million. I mean, New York could somewhat take about 50 to 100,000 migrants, but even they are taking a massive beating. So let's see what happens in Denver. Things are not looking so great, and hopefully they recover. Who knows? Thanks for watching, guys. Comment below.